Welcome, everyone, to the Random Green Podcast. Yes, I am feeling a little better, but as you can tell, my voice isn't 100%. But I'm tired of waiting. I want to do a video, a podcast video on the What If Bowl. Now, what is a What If Bowl? Well, just a made-up saying by me or others. And the What If Bowl is like this. People, athletes, individuals want to compare teams. And I always try to give a nod to the older teams, like the teams from the 1960s and 70s when you could actually tackle and hit and block. Even if it was a low block. Nowadays, I don't think you can go low on you can't have a low block when it comes to like gridiron football. You can't go low as an offensive lineman or, if you're, you can't go with the knees. It's football. You think about it. Safety is concerned. Head injuries, yes. But when you're talking about going low, it's leg. You'd rather have leg injuries and head injuries in football, ultimately. But anyway, that's not really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about like athletes nowadays, probably faster. Yeah, I'll give them that. And the reason I'm talking about this is a lot of individuals want to compare teams from yesteryear and I do it too. I'm guilty of it too. But athletes from the current 2025, 2024, 2025, teams want to say, well, we would be able to beat the teams from the 1950s and 1960s. We would destroy those teams. Okay. How can you compare that? How do you know? You can't compare unless you actually have them play each other, which is basically impossible. I'm sorry again if I sound like crap, but again, I wanted to do a podcast video. I wanted to do this video for a while. But of course, naturally, I start getting a little sick, cold, flu. And I'm sorry if I digress. I'm also not sorry, but like I say, I'm sorry if I sound like crap, but or like JFK. Anyway, these, like I say, athletes from yesteryear, people act like big deal if teams from 2024 would be able to beat teams from the 1955 or 1947 teams. Of course. But if you play by their rules, who knows? Bigger, faster, stronger, they say. I'll say bigger. I'll say faster, not stronger. No. It's like this. Athletes in the year 1 million our athletes nowadays aren't going to compare themselves to athletes in the year 1 million. I know it's, from 1950s, 60s to 2024, 2025 is not that long compared to athletes from 2025, comparing themselves to athletes in the year 1 million. So what? When it doesn't matter what, the score, it wouldn't matter. Those athletes from back then, going into a game in like 1953 Detroit Lions, who won the NFL championship, wouldn't be like, oh, do you think we'd be able to beat the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles? Who cares? It's like these people nowadays like to compare older teams. Their job was to play the team that they were going to play. And that was 1953 teams, not 2024 teams. some fans don't realize that those athletes wouldn't care, just like athletes nowadays wouldn't care about athletes in the year 10,000. Why would they care? Are they going to stop and not compete because maybe a team from the year 10,000 would be 100 times better? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. It's coming out in a random, and I'm under the weather, and I apologize. My voice sucks. And this might not help my voice. But athletes from that time frame could care less about, they would just would have canceled and say, well, you know what? Cancel all games till the year 2000. Come on. Don't be ridiculous. But that's how fans compare teams from yesteryear. Like, well, teams nowadays could beat the other teams from 1957. So, how can you prove it? How can you you can't until they play each other. And, you know what I mean? Their job was to play the teams that they're playing. As much as I like to continue, I want to cut this podcast shorter because my voice, for the sake of having a voice in the future, anyway, thank you very much for listening/watching this podcast. You'll have a great day now.